One of the best parts about living out on the edge of town was that I didn't rely on city water. I had my own well with a solid pump system, reliable, efficient, and paid for. It kept my garden lush, my animals watered, and my bills practically non-existent. To me, it was just common sense. To Karen, however, it was a community hazard. Her mansion sat up the hill, a bloated testament to HOA luxury standards. She had fountains, koi ponds, sprinkler systems, and a swimming pool big enough to dock a small boat. The woman used water like it was a status symbol. And she hated the fact that my humble pump house ran things just fine without a single HOA-approved utility partnership. It started with passive-aggressive letters again. Your private pump is unregulated. Unregistered water systems devalue neighboring properties. HOA requires conformity with municipal infrastructure. I ignored them. My pump wasn't under HOA jurisdiction. But ignoring Karen is like ignoring a mosquito. It doesn't stop the bite. Then one morning, I turned on the tap, and nothing came out. At first I thought it was mechanical failure. I checked the pressure tank, fine. I checked the lines, intact. But when I opened the pump shed, my jaw nearly hit the ground. The pump was gone. Not broken, not sabotaged, gone. All that was left was a tangle of wires and fresh wheel tracks in the dirt. I didn't need to play detective. Karen's landscapers had been in my yard the day before under the excuse of boundary maintenance. She'd stolen my water pump. I marched straight to her front door, ready to explode. Before I could even knock, I heard the sound of gurgling, her fountains sputtering and choking. A landscaper was fiddling with pipes by her koi pond, muttering that the new system wasn't holding pressure. Karen came out smug as ever. "Oh, good you're here," she said. "I had your unsafe pump removed. Don't worry, it's being put to proper use. You'll thank me later when your property values stabilize." I nearly lost it. "You stole my pump? It's for the community," she sniffed. "Besides, you didn't need all that capacity. My irrigation system does." The arrogance was breathtaking. I didn't argue. Instead, I called the sheriff. Property theft on that scale wasn't some HOA gray area, it was a crime. While I waited, I walked back to my shed and flipped the manual bypass valve I'd installed years ago. It sealed the underground feed line that Karen's crew had tapped into. By dusk, her entire mansion was bone dry. No fountains, no koi pond circulation, no sprinklers, no water for showers, toilets, or her precious infinity pool. She stormed down to my property, furious. "You cut me off." I pulled out my phone and hit play. The video from my trail cam clearly showed her landscapers wheeling my pump out of the shed. "No, Karen," I said. "You cut yourself off when you stole from me." Right then, the sheriff's truck rolled up. Karen tried her usual routine, clipboard waving, rapid-fire accusations, but it collapsed fast. The deputy reviewed the footage, inspected my shed, and then gave her a stern reality check. "Ma'am, this isn't an HOA issue. This is grand theft equipment and unlawful diversion of water. You'll be facing charges." Her mouth fell open. "Charges? For water? For stealing property?" the deputy corrected. "You can't just take someone else's pump. That's a felony." They didn't cuff her, but they did serve her a citation and order her to return the pump immediately. She had to pay for reinstalling it plus damages. The water company was notified, too, because her stunt had illegally rerouted water into unpermitted lines. That alone carried hefty fines. By the next morning, Karen's once glittering mansion was the saddest, driest shell on the hill. Neighbors chuckled as her sprinklers sat useless. Her koi ponds turned stagnant, and her prized hydrangeas wilted in the sun. My pump, meanwhile, was humming again like nothing ever happened. The HOA board, embarrassed beyond belief, voted to suspend her presidency again. And whenever someone brings up water conservation at meetings now, people can't resist a smirk. Karen thought she could rip out my pump to feed her mansion. Instead, she ended up high and dry, literally overnight.